What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires, and just on time. It feels like it always comes the same way. A ton of Marvel news drops in the last 48 hours, so much so we're going to be doing videos throughout the weekend to catch up on it all. And while we talk about what's coming now for the rest of the slate and the multiverse saga, we actually have a scoop on what's beyond that. After Secret Wars, the Mutant Saga, and now some details are starting to come out about what exactly that will look like. Who's going to be in charge? We're going to talk about the latest updates, where they've come from, one an unlikely place, one an industry insider you guys are very familiar with. We're then going to talk about the implications of that and what Marvel Studios could even look like as we approach the end of the decade in 2030. We're breaking it all down, the latest updates about the next saga in the MCU and what it all means when we finally get R616 X-Men. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is right around the corner to coincide with the Secret Invasion finale. Again, all you got to do, be a sub, leave a comment on this video if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so for context today and everything going in the MCU past Phase 6 in Avengers Secret Wars, I want to talk about quickly what happened last year, because I still see it erroneously reported, and to this day. Some of you may remember, or you may have never known in the first place, that the day before San Diego Comic-Con Hall H 2022, last summer, a bunch of trademarks that Marvel had filed for were made public, and that's because once you file for them, they are public, and those were the titles of a bunch of their upcoming announcements. Things like Captain America, what was then New World Order, and of course Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars. There was then also a second group of trademarked titles that came out that same day, none of which have ever been confirmed. Things like the Eternal Saga and the Timeless Saga, titles like Shang-Chi 2 and the Wreckage of Time, or Doctor Strange 3 in the Dark Dimension. Now, to this day, people still talk about that second group of trademarks like they were confirmed as the first, and to be honest, that first list was announced at San Diego Comic-Con surely makes the second list feel like a bunch of fan fiction that none of those titles have ever been confirmed. But people have talked about the possible sagas as the Eternal Saga and the Timeless Saga after we now have had the Infinity Saga and what will be the Multiverse Saga. Not so fast. According to My Time to Shine Hello, the infamous Twitter scoopster and industry insider, and other corroborating sources, we all know the X-Men are on the horizon. The next one will actually be the Mutant Saga, and while that title is certainly subject to change, there's no question that it's definitely going to focus on the mutants. That's the latest update from My Time to Shine Hello. It is the Mutant Saga. The next piece of information, well, as I mentioned during the prologue, this may be an unlikely source for Marvel scoops, but if they keep it up, they won't be unlikely in for long. Some of the mods over at the DCEU Leaks subreddit apparently know a little bit about what's going on in the MCU. Last week, they came with their first scoop that Vanessa Kirby was a shoo-in for Sue Storm, and that Joseph Quinn was in the running for Human Torch. Fast forward to this week, and their latest update is that Nate Moore, the current Vice President of Production and Development, will be the producer over the X-Men / Mutant corner of the MCU. And if you're not familiar with Nate Moore's work, he goes all the way back to a co-producer on Winter Soldier and has been producing at Marvel Studios under Kevin Feige for the better part of the last decade. He has a ton of titles attributed to him, most recently Wakanda Forever. You can go ahead and look him up on IMDb. He's been a part of a lot at the MCU, and you've probably seen him in some of their featurettes or talking about his role over at Marvel Studios. There were only so many vice presidents that were right below Kevin Feige, and with Victoria Alonso recently departing, or should we say recently getting fired from Disney and Marvel Studios, it seems like he was a natural choice. Now, if this sort of raises alarm bells as to why Kevin Feige's not doing it, this is nothing new. In fact, this is very similar to what James Gunn was said to have done or was supposed to do with the quote-unquote cosmic side of the MCU, just another hand underneath Kevin Feige, sort of taking on the head of one specific corner. There's still going to be other movies going into the Mutant Saga, or if it ends up being called the Eternal Saga, keep in mind, that second round of trademarks, the sketchiest of sketch. But if it does end up being called something else, it doesn't matter. It's going to focus on the X-Men. They're going to be a huge part of it, and Nate Moore will sort of be ahead of all of those projects. Basically, Marvel's way of keeping some continuity where there needs to be some, all the X-Men, all the mutant projects, making sure that they keep up with one another, all going through the same person, and there's no one really better to do it than Nate Moore. Now, this, again, does not signal the end of Kevin Feige's reign as executive producer, and president of Marvel Studios, but on that note, I think this is the perfect time to talk about it. I've often wondered what Marvel might look like if, say they move Secret Wars one more time, it actually comes out in 2028, a full 20 years after Iron Man. If things like what just happened with Bob Chapek is forcing them to put out quantity over quality, who knows what the future holds for anybody or what other aspirations Kevin Feige even would have. Perhaps he's intent to just stay the president of Marvel Studios and keep working on these films. I mean, he's been working on Marvel films since the earliest days of the X-Men and Spider-Man, and at this point, he's almost synonymous with Marvel Studios. It's sort of hard for me to see, or for any of us, really to picture from the outside looking in where you'd want to go somewhere else, but nothing lasts forever. And on that note, if Kevin Feige ever chose to move up the list here at Disney and go for something like CEO, again, not that he would want to, or do something else, Nate Moore would be on a short list of people who would be in line to take over president of Marvel Studios. And now hearing that he's going to be the producer over the X-Men and mutant side, mutant corner of the MCU, I think that only solidifies, again, that very short list of people. He's way, way up there. Also, I will mention, Kevin Feige has said they're mapping out the next 10 years of the MCU. That was only last summer. That brings them through 2032. Put your mind at ease. It's so hard for me to imagine Kevin Feige going anywhere. But I think it's at least worth mentioning that if they do follow Secret Wars somewhat from the comics, especially the 2015 Jonathan Hickman run, it's all meant to birth a brand new continuity. And as we've heard, there are rumors of a soft reboot looming so that you can have a brand new Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and Black Widow in play alongside the new Fantastic Four and whoever the 616 Marvel X-Men will be once they're cast, after we see the Fox X-Men come back in Deadpool and then presumably in Secret Wars. And so, should that be on the horizon, I would think Kevin Feige would want to stay to see it through that portion instead of handing it off, because then it would truly be a brand new MCU and all over again. But we are getting way ahead of ourselves, because still, I think Secret Wars might move one more time, which puts us at least, 5 years, a half a decade out now from when we're going to see it. We still have plenty of films, plenty of time to go. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below, either reactions to Nate Moore taking over the X-Men saga, your thoughts about who should be cast in the 616 MCU X-Men, and of course, if you get to hand out the solo movies, who do you think they should introduce first as we get into that X-Men saga, again, post-multiverse saga? I am all ears. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Alright, we are still giving away PlayStation 5s here at the channel. The next one is about 3 weeks away to coincide with Secret Invasion's finale on Disney+. All the same rules will always apply if you want to be entered to win the giveaways here at the channel. It's super simple to be entered to win. All you got to do, hit the subscribe button and be a subscriber. Leave a comment on this video, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos live with my voice in the comments shown on screen, so please be safe. Never give out your information on a third-party app like WhatsApp or Telegram. Also keep in mind, no YouTuber, including myself, will ever charge you for shipping. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name AllFires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.